Greetings, welcome back to the channel Humanity, Facts and Mysteries. When we think about ancient civilizations, we instinctively associate greatness with empire. Large territories, centralized power, conquest, and visible domination shape how history measures importance. Empires leave maps, monuments, and chronicles that are easy to recognize. Tamil civilization followed a different logic. It did not depend on permanent imperial expansion to survive. Its continuity was not built on conquest, but on systems that worked locally, repeatedly, and over long periods of time. This is one of the main reasons Tamil civilization is often misunderstood. Without a single, uninterrupted empire stretching across continents, it appears fragmented when judged by imperial standards. Yet this apparent fragmentation concealed a deeper stability. Tamil society organized itself around language, land, trade, and social order rather than constant territorial control. Power was distributed across multiple centers instead of concentrated in one. Dynasties rose and fell, but the civilizational core remained intact. This structure allowed Tamil civilization to absorb political change without collapsing. While empires depend on expansion to sustain authority, Tamil society relied on reproduction of norms. Language provided continuity across generations. Literature preserved memory without requiring a central state. Local governance maintained order without erasing regional variation. Trade connected communities to the wider world without demanding military domination. These mechanisms proved remarkably resilient. They allowed Tamil civilization to function even when imperial frameworks shifted around it. Another crucial factor was adaptability. Empires often imposed uniform systems that struggled to adjust to local conditions. Tamil society evolved through gradual adjustment rather than sudden reform. Agricultural practices adapted to climate. Social institutions evolved with economic change. Cultural expression shifted without breaking continuity. This flexibility reduced the need for centralized coercion. Stability was maintained through familiarity rather than force. External powers frequently misunderstood this system. Colonial and later national narratives searched for empires and capitals, rulers and borders. When they failed to find a single dominant Tamil empire lasting uninterrupted for centuries, they concluded that Tamil civilization lacked political coherence. In reality, coherence existed at a different level. It was embedded in everyday life rather than imperial display. This made it harder to document, but easier to preserve. Tamil civilization did not disappear when dynasties ended because it was never identical with them. It outlived rulers because it was rooted in practices that did not depend on rulers to function. This also explains why Tamil identity survived repeated political absorption. Empires came and went, administrative languages changed, borders shifted. Yet Tamil language, customs, and social structures persisted. They did not require imperial sponsorship to continue. They were sustained by use. This is a fundamentally different model of civilizational survival. It challenges the assumption that power must be centralized to endure. Tamil civilization demonstrates that longevity can be achieved through cultural depth rather than territorial reach. It shows that influence does not always announce itself through conquest. Sometimes it operates quietly, continuously, and effectively without ever becoming an empire. What makes this civilizational model especially important is how invisible it becomes to standard historical measurement. History often asks who ruled, how far borders extended, and how power was enforced. Tamil civilization answers different questions. How did people live? How did knowledge persist? How did social systems remain recognizable across centuries of political change? These questions do not produce dramatic maps or simple timelines, but they reveal durability. Tamil civilization functioned more like an ecosystem than a state. Multiple centers existed at once. Authority shifted without destroying continuity. This reduced the risk associated with collapse. When an empire falls, everything tied to it is endangered. When a culture is distributed, it survives disruption. Tamil society embedded its continuity into everyday life. Language was not limited to administration. It was spoken, sung, written, and remembered. Literature was not confined to courts. It circulated socially. Ethical frameworks were reinforced through stories, poetry, and custom rather than law alone. This meant that identity did not depend on political allegiance. It depended on participation. Anyone who lived within the system reproduced it. Trade further strengthened this structure. Tamil regions were integrated into long-distance networks across the Indian Ocean, Southeast Asia, and beyond. These connections were commercial rather than imperial. They did not require conquest to function. Merchants carried language, customs, and ideas alongside goods. Influence spread without occupation. This allowed Tamil civilization to interact globally while remaining locally grounded. Empires often collapse under the weight of overextension. Tamil society avoided this risk by never tying survival to expansion. Instead of absorbing others through force, it absorbed change through adaptation. This made it difficult to conquer in a civilizational sense, even when territories were politically controlled by external powers. Colonial rule altered administration, but it did not erase cultural infrastructure. Attempts to replace language or social practice met resistance not through rebellion alone, but through persistence. What already works does not need to be defended loudly. It simply continues. This is why Tamil civilization can appear paradoxical. It was never absent, yet rarely central in imperial histories. It was never dominant in the traditional sense, yet it endured. It complicates the assumption that greatness must be visible to be real. Tamil civilization shows that power can exist without spectacle, that order can persist without uniformity, that survival does not require constant assertion. Understanding this forces a broader rethinking of what civilization means. If empire is not the only path to longevity, then many societies previously considered marginal may deserve re-evaluation. Tamil civilization is not an exception. It is an example of an alternative model of endurance, one built on use rather than rule, on continuity rather than conquest, on depth rather than reach. Which other civilizations do you think survived not because they ruled, but because they worked? Write your thoughts in the comments. Stay with Humanity, Facts and Mysteries, because history is not only shaped by those who conquered but by those who endured.